Hey, everybody. Sorry, I'm not completely set up just yet because I don't know what I'm doing. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back. I'm like trying to finish setting up here. Okay, I'm back. How you? How's everybody doing? Wear PPE. Like a biohazardous suit. That girl's this freaking ass. She's getting into a Twitter war. Hey, Lucky. She's getting over there into a Twitter war with another white supremacist. Lisa something, Lisa Loom, or I don't even know. I'm like, pot meat kettle. I just left it at M because I don't want to get flagged by the YouTubes. So that's why I put M and then I put a few spaces and then GT for Grand Tableau. Black sticker got it messed. Hey, CG, how you doing? Nice to see you. Haven't seen you in a while, but then again, I keep coming on in the middle of the night. Sorry, I'm giving them a good shuffle because I haven't shuffled them since the last GC we did. So give me a few minutes. Okay. 26, 23, 16, 27, 18, 9, 18, 5, 31, 15, 22, 3, 10, 36, 2, 20, 17, 35, 25, 13, 32, 34, 30, 24, 12, 19, 7, 29, 21, 33, 11, 4, 8, 1, 28, and 6. Okay. Okay, 16 stars. 14. Nine. 18. Hey, Marby, thank you so much. 31. 15. 22. We got the storks in its own house, exactly like Mark Meadows from the last Grand Tableau. And you all saw me shuffling the shit out of those cards. It's coming out in its own house. So that's pretty significant. 3, 10, 10, 36. 2. 20. 35. 25. 25. 13. 32. 34. 30. 24. 12. 19. 7. 29. 21. 33. 11. And 4. Okay. Alrighty. Sorry about the glare. Let me take a sip of water. So like I said, we got the storks. It's in its own house. That's the first thing I'm seeing right off the bat. Let me see if anything's married. 1 second, please. 14, 5, 6, 18 and 7, 5 and 8, 31 and 9, 15 and 10, 22 and 11, 3 and 12, 10 and 13, 36 and 14. Thank you so much. They're a bit of fun. It's like a big old puzzle. Thank you, Joanne. Well, the week, huh? Did you guys hear about what that piece of crap judge in Texas just did about the abortion pill? We'll be reading on that on Sunday night. But I got to talk to Jenny. I was texting her today because I had questions, but I didn't know how this stuff would work. Let me see. 2 and 15, 20 and 16. That's not it. This is in its own house, the storks, okay? 35 and 18. Where's 18? Nope. 25 and 19. Nope. 13 and 20. Nope. 32 and 21. Nope. 34 and 22. Nope. 30 and 23. No. 20. Oh, heart is in it's also in its own house. So we have the heart and the storks in its own house. So 24 in house 24 and 17 in house. Okay. 12 and 25. Where's 25? 25. 25. Nope. 19 and 26. No. 7 and 27. Where's 27? Oh, it's up there. 21 and 29. 33 and 30. No. 11 and 31. No. 4 and 32. Where's 32? Nope. 8 and 33. 1 and 34. No. 28 and 35. Where's 35? Where's the anchor? Nope. 6 and 36. Where's the cross? And no. Okay. Let me take a swig of water. Yeah, this is on the 3 toes we're reading on tonight. Okie dokie. So, welcome. Sorry, you guys were having internet issues earlier. Thank you, Lucky Girl. If moving forward, if you guys are experiencing any issues with buffering, refresh your page or exit the page, like the browser, and then come back in. That's not on me. I have no control over what's going on with the buffering in the YouTube. Because I'm not getting any issues over here on my end, and I'm full bars. So I'm wondering when Mercury's about to go retrograde, because he messing me up big time. Thank you, Lucky Girl. Okay, so this is the grand tableau on 3 toes. For those of you that are new, this is a grand tableau. This spread is reserved for the Lennies and the Kippers. Okay, this is an 8x4 plus 4, meaning 8 lines this way, 4 rows this way, and then there's 4 down here at the bottom. You can also do a 9x4. I prefer the 8x4 plus 4. This is her present line right now for the month of April, because this is April moving forward for an entire year. It's pre-shadow Mercury retrograde. What does that mean? What does that mean? Like, when does it go? When does it go retro? Lucky. Because I better start backing up all my stuff and just on you. I have been having issues just with YouTube alone has been like insane. The pre-show for Mercury. Oh, it goes retrograde on the 21st. See, that little fucker. He's starting. I just know it. I know it. I know it. I know it. April 21st to May 14th is when it goes retrograde. Yeah. This is going to be fun. Okay, so this is her present column for the month of April. When you guys hear me talking about chains and houses, the houses are the positions and where the cards are landing. The houses do not change. Those are fixed. The houses correlate with the cards. If I were to take these cards and put them in order from 1 through 36, that's the houses. So this would be House of the Rider, Clover, Ship, House, Tree, Clouds, Snake, Coffin, so on and so forth until I get to the very end. Those houses do not change. They're fixed. What changes is when you shuffle the cards and where the cards land. Okay. She is right here. She's all the way at the bottom in the House of Man. She's not in a good position And I say that because she's all the way at the bottom, meaning this is everything that's on her mind kind of weighing her down. She has no control over any of this. It's just kind of all the stuff that's on her mind weighing her down. And this is the only thing she has control over, and it's not looking good. Okay. Let me see, what else can I say? Okay, is that it? Is that all I can say? Okay, that's all I can say. So with the corners, we have, you might not be able to see it because of the glare, but we have the book, the tree, the house, and the birds. And then central to the tableau, which is like the heart of the tableau, we have the ship, the scythe, the child, and the moon. So we're looking at, she has knowledge, or she's keeping secrets about something that's growing and quite solid that has to do with losses. Okay. Tree is in the house of coffin. With family or property, or could quite literally be the House of Representatives, okay, because it's house. House is in the house of moon, so this is somewhere where she works, her career, how she's recognized, okay? So knowledge about something that's solid and growing in the house with an entourage, a very close group of people that are going to have to talk and interview, or also something that took place over meetings or will be taking place over meetings. Okay, so those are the corners. The central, the heart of the tableau is that this could be in regards to some sort of a transition that is ruptured or canceled. It could be something as simple as the car breaking down. Okay, and then with the child and the moon, we could be looking at an emotional child. I don't know how old her kids are. It could also be a child, one of her children, because it's right over her head. So it could be a child that's on her mind. So it could be in reference to that. And it could also be about small fame and recognition. Let me see. A closer look at this, the ship is in the house of the birds. So this could be a meeting that was had in regards to a transition. Okay. Transition of what? Power. Successful, significant. You can't see this. This is bear, right? Okay. Maybe you can see it better this way. Hold on. Let me try to finagle some stuff. Okay. This is bear. Successful, power, elections, transitions, canceled. Okay. So because ship is sitting in the house of birds, it could have been a meeting that was discussed in regards to the transition. The scythe is sitting in the house of child, a dangerous child, new danger, small danger, a very abrupt decision. Okay. I'm leaning towards dangerous child simply because of what's behind this and where this is knighting to lilies. Okay. And then child is sitting on house garden. All right. So we could be looking at a small rally or a network of small people, if you're picking up what I'm putting down when I say that. Okay. The moon is sitting on house mountain. Recognition, fame, but it's delaying something, if I'm making sense. All righty. So right over her head on her current line, there is mail or results, paperwork of any kind, test results, bills, from the family in the house. This could also be emails. Anything that's with the stars here, we could be looking at emails. Okay. Emails from the closest entourage because it sits in the house of house. So perhaps within members of the house, very close people, family as well. Meetings to discuss a transition or a trip, because this is also the card of travel, with a group of small people. There's a large body of small people, if you all are picking up what I'm putting down. Bingo, lucky girl. And also the other ones. Child Knight's over here to the key, or to the cross. He's got the ring before him. So this person is committed to take on a burden. These two, an oath. Okay? Because it's a promise that comes with burdens, if that makes sense. So the creepers or the peanut butters, one of those two. But there's mail from the closest entourage that is being investigated. Okay? A meeting about a transition, how to cancel a transition, a group of little people at a rally. She is sitting in the house of man. There's something really, 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 really important going on with her and a man. Traditionally, it would be her partner, but homegirl over there getting busy with everybody while she's standing on her soapbox screaming about what a good Christian she is. So I don't know who that man is. We'll figure that out as we go. And then Ryder sits right below her. Let me see if I can do it this way. Okay. Right up here, knowledge and secrets. This card right here is the mice. Okay. Knowledge and secrets about widespread thievery, fraudulent results, and people that are happy to offer assistance to grow something out of a loss. That's this line right up here. Okie dokie. Picking up what I'm putting down. Here we were talking about successful power after the elections and canceling a transition. Okay. That the suffering would be very brief, but then there would be like a huge party. There's also something here on social media. The garden is sitting on house. What do you call this? Stars. Okay. Let me see here. The change is achieved with the help and the commitment of the little people and the many, as well as the many that were getting some sort of guidance on how to do the transition from a group of people that are very close together in a very particular entourage, very small entourage, 7 to 12 people around there. Okay. Let me see. This is her line right here. So she's got to go this way and then wrap around this way. So this is April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November. Between April, May, June, July, August. Between perhaps September through November, legal problems. Because right here, she's sitting on house man. She faces an obstacle and a blockage here. And then there's significant fighting with the entourage. Wrap it around, interviews with the law and lies, trouble. Lies with the law or lying to the law. Someone interviewed with the law and lied about her, obstruction. That argument is going to be between her and quite possibly this man. Because if you look at this line, the line of fate, coffin, rider, man, clouds. News of a loss. This man is huge trouble. He's confused, and she's very, 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 very close to that, to those clouds as well. She's got this bad card, this bad card, this bad card. Even though she's got the moon right here, it's followed by the by the mountain. So she's surrounded by really bad cards, especially this one here. But the worst one is the clouds. The clouds is sitting on house, what is that? Cross. And the cross is sitting right on her line of influence. You can't see it. A friend sacrifices her, and then she experiences a loss. This person's going to rat her out. And that's why I said when we were reading on Marky Mark, this one was on the 5th, so just 2 days ago, with this woman here that we found. And I was like, oh, I don't know why. And I was looking at it as his wife. And then I was looking around and I was like, wait, maybe that's MTG. That's why we're doing this one on her tonight. So what her and Mark Meadows have in common in the grand tableau is the storks. They were in on the meeting. There's knowledge here of a successful change that was had in that meeting, how they were going to overturn something. Again, the storks is knighting here to the crossroads. This is an action card. That's an action card. And I was telling you guys the other day, hey, Sebastian, because it was in Trump's grand tableau, or it was storks here and crossroads here. These are both action cards. And I was saying this one leaves and returns because the storks leave in the winter, return in the spring. This one leaves and returns. If you have to think of an action, how it would be, what type of action it would take. This is an action of leaving and returning. This would be an action because it has to do with doubles and alternatives of going either left or right. So if you're leaving and returning and going left and right, those are your swing states, because it kind of acts like a pendulum. It goes left and right, back and forth, left and right, back and forth. Do you see what I'm saying? So I just found that the other day on the Trump tableau. So it's more like the swing states and the meetings that were had in private to steal, widespread thievery, and then falsify, manipulate the results, and friends that were happy to do it this way, the friends that offered to help. These people are going to get fucked. The bouquet is sitting on house clouds. The snake is sitting on, dog is sitting on house snake. Tree is sitting on house coffin. So even though this looks pretty, they're going to get fucked. Even though the mice is kind of far and the birds is a little bit closer, but it's still far because this is very near. This is far. But with these bad cards, I would say, I don't care how much this girl goes on TV and starts screaming and riding on her high horse for any sort of publicity that she can get. She's shitting her pants because she sees this coming. It's not right now because there's here. She's here. She's facing an obstacle or an obstruction. There's a mountain. Mountain sits on her house. So, and then here, if we're talking about work, if we interpret the fox as work, loss, career problems, career delays. Okay? This is in the next month. I don't see her leaving the house. I just don't see how that would happen, but there's work here that's being cut off. And careers that are delayed. There's something about an argument here about impeachment. There's impeachment and then an abundance of arguments. I'm not saying she's going to get impeached or expelled. It's just I'll look into this more and see what that's about. Let me see here. Here's the request for pardons. Actually, it's this way. There's the request. There's the guilt, the punishment. This is sitting on house fox. So one way to interpret that is very difficult work, hard work, but also being sneaky about something that you're guilty about, if that makes sense. Okay. Fish is sitting on house crossroads. Money for elections. What is this? Not clouds. Key in the house of lilies. Significant wisdom, but then there's huge trouble right beneath it. So there's going to be, from the looks of this, she might start seeing a lot of trouble trying to fundraise. It's not going to be as abundant as it was. It's not guaranteed. It's not as abundant as it once was, because there's difficulties here. This is gifts that are being given by supporters. There's difficulty here. There's the money. That's important. Uncertain and big trouble. Yes, in other words, we need lots of popcorn. Okay, so she's just going to go and spew and run her mouth, but the only reason Kevin McCarthy's keeping her around is because of her ability to fundraise. 2 columns ahead, it shows that she's going to have a hell of a hard time fundraising. Not saying she won't. It's just not going to be as easy, because half you people are in freaking jail or about to go to jail. And guess what? If I read both of these together, actually all three of these, if these are your supporters that you've manipulated into gifting you stuff, they've been indicted or are awaiting trial or over in the pokey, Let me see. Okay, so there is this person here that appears to be a friend, but they're not. This dog sits in the house of snakes. So it could be a friend that's in trouble or a friend that betrays via what he testifies to the law or to the courts. And that's coming up 3 columns ahead. So this has not happened yet. So April, May, June, around July, perhaps. And if we read this column down, there's a secret that gets exposed here, or a secret that comes to light, or a secret that gets a lot of energy about the insurrection that somebody rats out about the thievery and thieving something to win. Dog sits in the house of snake. So once you follow this, okay, the secrets and the project to successfully overturn something was talked about in that meeting in a tall building or in government, phone calls made to government, meetings in government, meetings in large buildings, meetings that are official, okay? Lies here, betrays. Who does it betray? Her. And then that's when she realizes, fuck, she's up against a wall. And then you're going to see a significant backlash and fight with the entourage. Okay. You see she knights here, anchor and fish and clouds. Okay. Woman to crossroads, decisions, choices, options, her in the elections, her fighting the elections or having several arguments. Crossroads in the house of whip. Woman to scythe in the house of child. Small and dangerous. The minority is dangerous. Let me see here. But even then, hold on. Out of options this way. No other option, because if this is options, this cuts it off too. Persistent money. She knights to anchor, she knights to fish. She's able to, her goal is to get money, raise money. Anchor in the house of dog. So her being able to secure money from the people that are loyal, the base. Fish in the house of crossroads. So money for the elections or several sources of income, multiple businesses as well. And then she knights down here to clouds. You're fucked. Fucked. Let me see. Ring is knighting over here to the scythe, divorce, and then problems. With this over the ring, extramarital affairs and lying. The snake here is the queen of clubs. It sits next to her and she's in the house of man. And then the snake knights down to the man. This is usually the other woman and it's closest to her, not him. But it's right here. It's multiple relationships, which we all know she's cheated on her husband twice. So that could have been the cause of the marriage. There could have been another one that was ongoing, perhaps in her place of work. Let me see. The husband might have been suspicious of her traveling in an official capacity for work through the government and some sort of an affair here. Because if you follow his line up, there's the suspicion. There's the breakage. Here's your emotions. And then there's the obstacle and the problem. The problem is her, mountain in the house of woman. And all that was weighing down on him because he sits below, the man sits below the mountain. So all of this is landing on his shoulders, but also the mountain is heavy, really, really, really heavy, very large. It's also traditionally a powerful enemy. Oh, she's hooking up with the anchor guy? Well, the anchor guy, yeah. So he's if the man is presenting, I'll look at the man not just as her husband, but as another, because traditionally the querent will be the woman if it's female, man if it's male, and then the other card will be their partner. So I'll look at it in both capacities, but her husband is not happy. He's actually going through a very difficult emotional time because it's coffin, rider, man, and clouds. So he's going through a huge loss. A lot of depression with the rider right there. I'm sorry, with the coffin, like serious depression. And then with the clouds, that's not good. When I read that in the context of her husband, okay? I can always read that as the context of somebody else because he sits on house anchor. So, and you said that the man that she's dating is the anchor of OAN. The man is sitting house 33, 34, 35. He's sitting on the house of anchor. Follow, where's the anchor? Right here. Relationship. New emotions. Broken relationship here. She knights to the anchor. She knights to the fish. And then the marriage is betrayed and ended. And then, and it's not like there was just one or two affairs. From here, it's vast through travel, ship in the house, stars in the house of ship. So vast, widespread travel. She could have been hooking up with him while she was on the road or doing whatever it is that she does for fame here, because it's successful or not successful. What am I trying to say? Kind of like a honeymoon this way. A trip that's emotional and romantic, that's significant, that brings huge trouble because this sits right below it. So, homegirl, as much as she likes to point her finger at everybody and judge, she's the biggest adulteress in town. And homeboy over here better watch out because it won't be long before she cheats on him too. So, I mean, this girl's just a hot mess, but whatever. Let me see here. This line over here. Okay, so we have tree in the house of coffin, garden in the house of stars, heart in its own house, and house in the house of moon. There's something very solid and I'm going to say this because the tree is also spirituality. Okay. It knights down to the cross. This would be like a Christian cross and tree, like a Christmas tree. So a Christian party that desires or is very passionate about families. That's who she's trying to pander to because she sees people that are loyal here. Okay. So later on down the road, she might, with the moon here, because the moon has to do with fame, emotions, career, creativity, your feelings. This is the card of seduction. But how your reputation, how you're viewed by others. There may be some sort of attempt to rebrand, but it doesn't work because of how she's boxed in. The ring, the child, and the moon. So there may be some sort of a outside of the context of her thinking about her kids and her relationship with her kids. That's one thing. Another way to interpret this in the sense of her career and her fame is she's very committed to new fame, new celebrity. Okay. The moon is within reach, but it's followed here by the mountain. Not good. She's got the snake woman and mountain here. So trouble for her, big problems. The trouble for her comes through mail and records from the entourage, the family, and the house. Snake in the house of letter, letter in the house of house, house in the house of moon. So it could be stuff that's reported or leaked about her family life and how she's an adulteress and that and the other thing and just horrible stuff. Another way to interpret that, because we have the moon here, it could also be in regards to records and mail, emails with these two up here, electronic mail. So emails that, we were talking about this the other day when we did, and I want to thank Lucky Girl for reminding me, because remember in what's his face's Mark Meadows, remember it was right in the middle of the tableau. It was like the mail that was delivered to a small committee. She might be in some of that mail and text messages, because this is emails, electronic mail from work that were suspicious, that were offered by a friend that was solid. Follow the line back, knowledge of the widespread theft and how they were working together as a team. Mice, knights down here to ring, an agreement to steal something. Okay, so somewhere, somehow in that mountain of paperwork, there has to be, according to this, if I'm interpreting it correctly, there's probably correspondence with her on it somehow. That's going to fuck her up. Okay. Let me see here. another way to interpret this, because we have the storks in its own house, the heart in its own house. Storks, besides change and improvements, this is also the card of pregnancies. The heart is desires, it's love, it's passion. Okay. The scythe sits right above the moon. The scythe also has to do with surgeries. This would be the womb. So there's something suspicious here about surgeries to the womb that are blocked. So perhaps abortion issues that are facing obstacles and blockages right now. I'm not saying for certain, but there might be later on down the road some sort of a hit piece about her hypocrisy and her lies because of a pregnancy. I'm going to get out my neuter scooter, girl. I'm just so fed up with it, especially after that judge just made that ruling today in Texas. He, as of today, a judge in Texas, to my understanding, and I'm not quite sure how it works, but what they were saying was he said that abortion pill is harmful or whatever. So he struck it down. So he's giving the government 7 days to reply. So, the FDA, that pill has been around for over 20 something years. So the government has 7 days to reply and try to overturn. The FDA does overturn him. And I was just talking to Jenny about this today. I was texting her. Because I'm going to go off on a side thing. I was asking Jenny today, I was like, why are these Republican states blatantly trampling over people's constitutional rights? Like, because federal law supersedes state law. So we have the Constitution, we have the Bill of Rights, all that stuff. But these states are like, oh, your First Amendment? Yeah, go fuck yourself. You can't talk about periods. You can't read these books, which are covered under the First Amendment. You can't say gay, and then when they overturned Roe v. Wade, that went against women's privacies. And so far, the federal government has done nothing, even though some of these are plain abuses to constitutional rights, and then I started thinking about, I was like, well, why are they doing that? Why are they doing that? And I was like, oh, wait a minute. But I wasn't sure because, and I was trying to look it up online. I couldn't find anything. And I just kind of ended up going into a fucking spiral. And then I ended up down some other rabbit hole. But if enough red states it's almost like, I started thinking it's like, it's almost, they're almost becoming so extreme to try to goad or bait the federal government to step in so that then they could appeal it at the Supreme Court, where they know they're going to have the votes from the Supreme Court to overturn and then make it official law. Am I crazy? Or is that how it would work, right? That's what I'm saying, Sunflower. If they keep doing this stuff, it's almost like they're goading it to get it to the Supreme Court so that the Supreme Court can overrule everything and make it the law of the land. And it's not just with the birth control and the abortions, it's with everything. Books, so do you see what I'm saying? And those are federal judges. I don't think, everybody get that idea out of your head that Clarence Thomas is going to go. He ain't going nowhere. He is not going anywhere at all. At all. They're not going to impeach him. Justice Roberts isn't going to do a goddamn thing. Do you see what I'm saying, Sunflower? Like they're goading the feds so that it'll get challenged at the Supreme Court, and then the Supreme Court can officially make it the rule of the land. Do you see what I'm saying? And there's nothing that can be done because, first of all, I was looking online. That's where I was asking Jenny, because Jenny was saying that they needed 60 votes for the Democrats to, you need 60 votes in the Senate to appoint a Supreme Court justice. I get that. But then I was reading and reading and reading and reading. Well, Mitch McConnell changed the rules to 51 and rammed Kavanaugh down the country's throat, and then did the same thing for Amy Coney Barrett 2 weeks before the presidential election. So he purposely changed the rules. So the rules used to be 60. He lowered it to 51 for all three of them, actually. No, I'm not sure about the other guy, but for Coney Barrett and I Like Beer, they only passed 51 to 49. Do you see what I'm saying? And then I was asking Jenny, I was like, well, in order to expand the court, would there have to be a bill started in the House? Do you see what I'm saying? And then the House takes it to the Senate, and the Senate brings it up to vote. And even then, you can't, because we don't have the House, you know? So it's like we might be stuck with this situation where abortion is about to become, even the abortion pills is about to become federal law for like until the next election or until the next midterm next year in 24, you know? And then hopefully, I mean, that's what I'm thinking. I could be totally wrong, you know? So if this judge gets his way, the FDA strikes it down, it goes to the Supreme Court goes, yeah, no more abortion pills. So you have officially made abortion, well, the abortion pill illegal in all 50 states. You can still get the surgeries in the blue states and a bunch of other states. But for those next 2 years, until we get the numbers in the House and in the Senate to overturn them. Do you see what I'm saying? Oh yeah, they're coming for it all, Ted. They're coming for it all. They're coming for it all. You know, I don't know. We'll read on that, all that stuff, Linda, next. We'll read on that on Sunday, because it's just like, I just couldn't stop thinking about it. And then I went online and started researching a bunch of stuff. It's like it's almost like they're just going above and beyond, baiting somebody to challenge them so that they can take it to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court can go, oh yeah, Bill of Rights, what is that? Get rid of it, you know? Except it doesn't apply to Clarence Thomas, the only black person on this whole freaking thing who's corrupt as shit, you know? Exactly, Pat. You want to get rid of pills for women? Then enjoy your limp dick, motherfuckers. You know? But we'll talk about all that on Sunday, because I need to ask Jenny more questions, because I went down a whole freaking rabbit hole reading a bunch of stuff, like trying to piece it all together. But hold on, let me get a sip of water. The two Tennessee guys, the city council was saying that they're going to reappoint them. And now there's a member in the House, not in the federal House, but over in the state, that was saying that if they reinstate those two boys, they're going to defund the schools in their district. It's like, that's extortion, motherfuckers. You know what I mean? So it's crazy. It's just like, you all done showed your asses. And like, but I think the whole game is that they're so confident that the Dems won't do anything, even if we win back the House and the Senate. It's like they're too confident that that they're going to that even if the Dems were to win the House and the Senate back, that they wouldn't do anything to overturn the laws that they just shoved down everybody's throats. You know, like the Dems would be too timid or weak to expand the court or veto the Supreme Court or anything like that. You know, like they, you know what I'm saying? So the answer to all this bullshit, expand the courts. Expand the motherfucking courts. So, but I really don't think Biden is going to do anything about it. Let me go make a cup of coffee. Just a second. Hey Jenny, I was just telling them about what I was talking to you on the phone. Well, what I was texting you about. So, but I'm making coffee right now, so I'll be getting up in a second. So let me see here. So we found the swing states here. The agreement to steal stuff here. The absolute power here. The meetings that were had about overturning and changing something in the swing states here. And they're this line up here, okay? The knowledge and the secrets to steal, widespread results that are fraudulent, and the friends that are willing to help. How many friends are there that are willing to help over a loss? The tree is sitting in house coffin. How many friends are there? Dog, look to the right, 5. How many swing states were there in the 2020 elections? Does anybody know? Because here it says that this right here, agreement to steal, widespread voter frauds, and friends that are willing to help. There's 5 friends here. Dog, look to the right. That's card number 5. Tree is sitting in house coffin. The loss. How many swing states were there total in the 2020 elections? Was it 5? I just want to see if I'm reading this correctly because it should be the card to the right. Can someone Google that? Hold on, I'm going to go get my coffee. Patricia, you said 5? Yep, it was 5. Arizona, Georgia, Michigan, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin. It's right here. The secrets, the project steal with the mice. You can't see it because of the glare. Widespread results, fraudulent, offer, and happy friends that are willing to help with the loss. The card to the right is number 5. So it was 5 friends that came from here where it swings with these 3 columns. Those friends, there's something in the mail and the correspondence that was gathered through an investigation that someone handed over, delivered to a committee here that has her on it somewhere. So there were 5 swing states in play in 2020. Well, let me see. What else can I find? Let me see. No, chat. The results were going to be fraudulent. We're talking about the fake elector scheme here. There was mail that was turned over to a committee that has her on that communication, whether it's emails or text messages. It's written communication that's electronic. With the phone, it would be birds. Okay. But there's paperwork that was turned over and it was delivered in secret. Yeah, this is the Jack Smith investigation, but this is, I'm looking at this and comparing it to the grand tableau that we did for Donald Trump on the 13th of March. The other day, when I went live, I showed you guys that I just found the swing states, and it was right here. It was the Storks and the Crossroads. So now when I see this combination close to each other, I need to look at it very, very close. For the swing states, because like I had said earlier, this card leaves in return, this one goes left and right, so like a pendulum, it swings. Okay, let me see here. That's not true, Jen. You can look at the corners. House, tree, or book, tree, house, and storks, and house and birds. I talked about that at the beginning. So it's like she's waiting for something to be unsealed and revealed in regards to the conspiracy on how they were going to steal the election, because book is sitting in the house of writer. The writer is the delivery. And if you follow this line here, okay, this is also her trip that she just took. She may have other trips on her mind. She's got the ship over her. But it's also mail about the transition and then her going somewhere, or news about her and how she was acting with the fish, the writer in the house of fish. It could be news about money, news about business, news about shopping, but it's also feedback and news about someone in the capacity of a consultant. So she's going to get tangled up in that stuff, and she's linked to it because she's got the ring right there. And this person rats her out, and then she gets betrayed there, and she's going to be in a world of legal trouble. Not just yet, though. She's going to have this obstacle here first, and she's going to feel the pressure like nobody's business. Mountain is a huge amount of pressure, and it sits on her house. A huge amount of pressure. Like, think about carrying, let me see here. You know, the Sierra Nevada mountains on your shoulders. That's a lot. You know, it's a huge weight. And this right here, a super heavy burden. Super heavy burden. Right here, these indictments right here. Paperwork that is decisive and dangerous and guilty. right here, indictments. Several, if you look at it this way. Here's more than one. And also mail that was forwarded. Because this is an action card, so this is mail that was forwarded in preparation for a meeting. Also a hearing. This line right here, we already talked about her difficulties with raising money. Not saying, like I said, it's not that she won't, it's that she's not going to raise as much as she did. Another way to look at that, because she sits in House Man. And then with Donald Trump and he just got indicted in New York City over the payments. That could come something else new might develop there in about 2 months' time from where we are now. The man is at the very bottom. I already spoke about him in the capacity of her husband. In the context of the man representing Trump, he's fucked. It's coffin writer man clouds. And then when you follow him up, the job was lost, damage to his reputation. His reputation is just fucked right here. And there's a lot of pressure on that man, mountain over the house of man, mountain over man. Okay. Let me see here. So we talked about this. Okay, let me see this. We already talked about that. We didn't talk about this. Okay. Let me see here. Something is taken away and there's losses, but power is achieved in the courts or with the law. But it's something that's taken away. And it's knighting down to storks, knighting down to ring, knighting down to ship. And travel gets cut off. This, again, quite possibly abortion laws, because this is pregnancy. There's the law. We talked about this earlier, abortions. Something gets taken away. Powerful achievement in the courts. Okay. What's taken away? Something with pregnancies here. A choice. Agreements to take something. Taking away travel here. This mice, knights to ship, followed by scythe, canceled travel, canceled trips, car accidents, that sort of stuff. In a different capacity, the elections are next year in November, right? Or am I making this up? Oh, is my mom here? Hey, Peggy. How you doing, Mom? Yeah, I'm reading on the three-toed idiot, inbred moron who graduated first grade. So the next elections are in November, correct? So this grand tableau doesn't go out that far. Yeah, this grand tableau doesn't go out to November. It stops in April of next year because it's only 1 year. So I can't look at her election. It's too early to look at it. So I would have to redo it again next year, the closer that we get to her election. Okay, let me look at this in a different capacity. Tower to book to writer to fish to crossroads to whip to sun, bouquet, clouds, cross, fox, tree, Coffin. Key. Lilies. Mice. Clover. Bear. Scythe. Child. Garden. Stars. Ship. Birds. Ring. And then back to town. Man, that's a long, hold on. That's a long line. Hold on. Let me write this down because I'm going to have to look at that chain. 1 second. I want to look at the law real quick. Let me write this down. So it goes tower to book to writer to fish, crossroads, whip, sun, bouquet, clouds, cross, fox, tree, coffin, key, lilies, mice, clover, bear, scythe, child, garden, stars, ship, birds, ring, and then back to tower. Okay. Okie dokie. So let's see. The government knows. The law knows. The law has something that it's keeping quiet that will be delivered to the consultants of the elections that we're going to argue successfully to favor something. And then it's clouds, cross, clouds and cross, huge trouble and punishment, investigations and fraud, growing or solid losses, fox, tree, and coffin. Okay, then we go key. What is this? Key, lilies, and mice. There's someone very important that was higher up with the lilies. I need to look at the lilies. That was sort of mentoring the theft and the thievery to win power with the clover and bear, in a very dangerous way with the scythe, for a minority party, the child, and what is this? Garden. Guidance on the transition with the stars and the ship, and a meeting with the birds to agree with the ring. I need to look at this, Lily. Okay, Lily is sitting in house mice. Okay, Lily. What? Okay. This is a person that she's friendly with, but this person is a liar. Dog in the house of snake. Clover in the house of bear. Opportunities, luck, risk, player. What else is around it? The fish, the heart. Fish is in the house of crossroads. Heart is in its own house. It's got the cross right here in the house of fox. Lily's in the house of He's got this here. This Knight's to this. This is in social media. Okay, this person here has fame and a lot of prominence on social media. With these two, this is a person that has beliefs that are not exactly ethical, that are a bit dogmatic, and this person likes a lot of power. Um, fish. This person is could be some sort of an entrepreneur as well, quite possibly because the whip is right here, has a drinking problem. Okay, an addiction to drinking. Let me see here. This person is also very dangerous and abusive, likes to fight, violent. Whip is knighting over here. An angry group of people. The public is fighting here. This person also has a very large audience online. I said that earlier. But this person's also quite passionate. There's something about this person that's very, very passionate comes across. House, stable, house in the house of moon, may work from home, comfortable at home, very comfortable in their fame and celebrity. He knights up here and he knights here. This person gets a lot of favors, but those favors are bad. This sits in the house of what is this? Clouds. If we're talking about addictions, not bouquet and clouds, marijuana. So possible alcoholic and a pothead. There's something about this person's health as well that's prominent. They may identify as some sort of a person with Christian values, but I don't know. And then with these and this, it's almost like a large group of people, a very large audience online that likes to punish. And then this way, this person has been under investigation and has suffered, but they got granted a gift here. And if you follow this way, innocent. I'm wondering if this is Steve Bannon. I'm wondering if that's Steve Bannon, because this is also the card of veterans. I'm wondering if that's Steve Bannon. Why the hell would he be showing up there? Huh. Why would he be showing up there? And this is also why would he be? How is she linked? Oh. If this is Steve and this is her, they're linked through little people in a very large group in an audience. Child in the house of garden, lilies in the house of mice, whip in the house of sun, and her in the house of man. That's how they talk to each other. They are linked through the little people. Follow the line down. There's the insurrection and there's the meeting. Or some sort of a phone call that was made for an agreement. Birds in the house of ring. Ring goes back over here. Let me see. He was at the hotel. Bannon was at the hotel. Moving forward, it looks like she goes to more rallies. There might be a couple that get canceled over the next couple of months if you follow, because this is the trips. There's a cancellation here moving forward. So over the next 2, she may not travel as much, but then a small opportunity comes for her to go to a rally or some sort of campaign or somewhere where there's a large audience. It could also be somewhere where it's online or has a very large online presence because it's guarded in the house of stars. So that's over the next 4 months. There's another one where she may be attending. There's some sort of a conference, or I mean, this could just be a committee as well that gives her clout where she can grandstand, you know. But if I follow this line here, it's also talking about trips going forward get canceled because of some sort of burden and bad press to her reputation. She's not looking good. Also, you know, it's not like the idiot didn't get enough bad flack for going to visit insurrectionists and calling them, you know, what did she call the insurrectionists that she went to visit in Washington? Did she call them political prisoners or something like that? I mean, if this is the kind of fame and celebrity that she wants, look what follows it. No, it's not. But she's too stupid to realize she's not helping herself. So a couple of trips coming up might get canceled, but then there's opportunities here to go before a very large audience. So campaigns, rallies, also quite possibly committees in the House here, following this line down. Okay. She called them political prisoners. This fucking jackass. Let's just send her to freaking Saudi Arabia. Go see how you like it over there, lady. Or how about we trade her for some of the people that Vladimir Putin has? She glorifies the guy. I'm sure she wouldn't mind sucking his dick, you know? Sorry if that you guys consider that to be vulgar, but she a hoe. I'm just saying. Yeah. Get that filthy animal out of here. You QAnon lunatic. They're looking for you at the animal sanctuary. Blast her with the fucking space lasers. Oh. You're good with it, Peggy? You're good with it, Mom? Thank you. Thanks for giving me permission to be vulgar and foul. Blast her with the fucking space lasers. I couldn't, dude. I lost my shit when I watched that video so many times just to get a good laugh. Just to get a good laugh. Because it's brilliant. Let me see. 29 to 28 to 35 to 18 to 7, 27, 4, 32, 21, 29. Okay, that's her line. Her chain. Yeah, it was hilarious. It was hilarious, eh? The space lasers, that part, that's where I lost my shit. Because he was like, blast her with the fucking space lasers. Hold on, I gotta watch it again because that shit was hilarious. Hilarious. I laughed so hard watching that. Hold on, let me go to the Twitter machine here. Let me see. Let me see here. Let me go to Michael Rappaport's page. Okay. I'm going to play it again. Oh my God, Mom, Peggy, that was Michael Rappaport. Hold on, I gotta play it again. Because it's just like I just sat here the other day and I just kept playing it over and over. The animal sanctuary. They're looking for you at the animal sanctuary. Oh my God, hold on, I gotta do it again. Oh my God. Blaster with the fucking space lasers. I was like, what the fuck? I just lost it when I saw that. You've played it 100 times. I have too, Jenny. I have too. I was cackling my ass off when I found that video. Oh my God. It was hilarious. Blaster with the fucking space lasers. Play it again. Yeah. I could watch that all night long. All night long. You see? Yeah, that and the clip of the Trump's lawyer calling him President Fraud. I'm like, talk about a Freudian slip. I mean, come on, dude. Come on. Oh, these freaking clowns, dude. I just saw a I think it's a Turkish proverb. I think I'll have to dig through my book that I was reading the other day. But it said something like, and I'm paraphrasing here, but I think it was something like, when a clown moves into the circus, he doesn't become a king. Oh no, when the clown moves into the castle, he doesn't become a king. The castle becomes a circus. That's exactly what's going on with these nut jobs. They have turned the entire institution into a fuckery. Also, where is the tower? Tower's close, but she has trouble. Right there. So, with the storks in its own house and the heart in its own house, there may be a very, 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 very strong desire about elevation. Getting higher. Okay, she's got the what is this tower really close, which is your ambition, but she's got the snake right between. Okay, so, and then with the corners too. With the corners, there's something here we talked about, the secrets that members of the close entourage in the house have about the meetings that were had, the phone calls that were made, the negotiations that were made, where everybody agreed to freaking steal something. Besides that, knowledge to grow and become stable in the house, and then house speaker. She's got her own ambitions. You got your own ambitions, girl. Multiple jobs, opportunist, self-serving opportunist here. Small, and then the independents. There's your Freedom Caucus. And then here, taking away and achieving power in government here. Well, those dreams are about to get squashed, my friend. Those dreams about to get squashed because you're going to be interviewing with the government. Interviewing with the government. Right there. And this person up here that was happy to help turned all this shit in already. And it's coming right back to you. Right there. Right there. Thanks, Jen. I know I suck, and Michael Rappaport is so much better. Let me see the courts. She's got losses. So she's here. So she's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 columns ahead. So if each column is a month, I would say about 5 more months before there's some sort of an interview about her involvement and her link in the overturning of something here. An agreement to overturn elections in the swing states and deliver widespread results that are fraudulent because these people were happy to help, and there was guidance here and there was guidance here on the transition. And she gets identified in the emails here because if this is her recognition, there's the key. She is identified as one of the main players. She's linked here with the ring over her head, and then here, and then the ring is knighting up here to the letter. The ring is knighting over here to the mountain. Her agreement to obstruct. The ring is knighting to the birds. Her agreement and what was discussed in that meeting. And then she knights down to clouds. Clouds goes back to the cross. We talked about that. She's about to be in some deep motherfucking shit right there. 5 columns ahead. Somebody rats. And that rat goes here. And then when she interviews, she lies and betrays this person. Does that make sense? And then lies and betrays, or I wouldn't say lies and betrays, but yeah, I would, because the snake is sitting in house letters up here. Okay. It falls on the same line as this person that was helping with the fraud. This person. Here's the rally. Here's the help and the offer. He knights down here. I'm wondering if this is like a Mark Meadows and I'm just saying Mark Meadows just because we just did his grand tableau. But we know that Mark Meadows delivered the paperwork. And again, thank you, Lucky Girl, for reminding me that on the other tableau I did a couple days ago. So dog goes here. In order to get her to talk to dog, I need to go to letter, dog, and whip. She's going to argue and debate that this person is lying, dog in the house of snake, about the letters. Does that make sense? Also, those letters that this person gave are a trap with the fox right there. So woman to letter to dog to whip. Oh, those letters weren't mine. Mark Meadows made that up. Those weren't mine. He falsified my signature. I didn't do that. My aide did. Even though it's coming out of her email and it's got her signature and they got her recorded on the fucking phone and in the meeting. And then she lies here. when this flips around. But when she gets to this interview with the law, she doesn't know what the law knows. This tower is sitting in the house of book. She does not know what was delivered to the government. Book sits in the house of writer. Writer, what's right before it? Her. Follow the line up. What was delivered about her that has her name on it, that was delivered in secret about her participation and her link to stealing something. You see? Put her in the hyena house. Now, let me tell you something. I love all of God's animals because they're just cool, except hyenas because I think they're assholes. And I would be reluctant to stick her in with hyenas just because even though I hate hyenas, that's just mean to the hyenas. They're coming for you, you filthy animal. Get the fuck out of here. Thank you, lucky girl. Blast her with the fucking space lasers. She's going to contradict or debate what this person said. But I see 5 months ahead. Well, 5 within the next 5 months. If I'm interpreting that correctly. Let me see. Steal the wind for power. Her agreement. For the promise. How she's linked. And the secrets that the law knows. Okay, I just followed I wanted to see the writer. So I followed it around. So it goes writer to fish, to crossroads, to whip, to sun, bouquet, clouds, cross, fox, tree, coffin, key, lilies, mice, clover, bear, scythe, child, garden, stars, ship, birds, ring, tower, book, and then back to writer. This right here that was delivered is a treasure trove of information. A treasure trove of information. Let me see. And it's hitting her this way. Okay, so here's the secrets and the knowledge. The team of people that were working together. Okay, there's the power. There's the clinging to power, tying to power, linked to that. This is very authoritarian. Okay, this is a lot of energy. This is power. So it's almost like absolute power, like authoritarian type thing, clinging to it. And then her, and then the man that's in deep shit. Let me see. Let me see here. This right here, we talked about that already. Let me see. A friend that suffers and in turn sacrifices her reputation, and she faces a serious loss. Serious, like really bad loss. And that line of fate, again, you guys, that's not good. That is not good. Did I follow the man? Let me see. Did I follow? Because the man knights to the child. So it could be quite literally man-child or the father of her children or a younger man. Okay. Man knights to fish. A businessman. A man that does consulting. An entrepreneur. Man knights to snake. This person is a liar. So he knights here, he knights here, he knights here. That's the only place I can knight him. And then when I close him in, I can only look at what's above him and what surrounds him. And it's woman, mountain key. This woman is a serious problem. She's a very significant problem. No. Also, she can answer or open up his problems. She can open up the obstacles. She's like some sort of a help. And then news about this man, and he's in deep shit because it's writer, man, and then clouds. News about a man that's in deep, deep doo-doo and undergoing serious burdens and punishments because it goes back to cross. And like I said earlier, indictments here, but there's more that are going to come this way. Mail that gets forwarded, more than one, multiple. And when they get him in Georgia, you better believe she's going to start running her mouth because the house would be where she lives. House is in the house of moon. So her district, her area, her state. And then yappity yap, yap, yap. Let me see. Let me follow him around. One moment, please. So it's man to anchor, dog, snake, letter, house, moon, mountain, woman, and then man. Okay. I'm not going to read the man as her husband. We've already gone over that like a lot. So this man right here, it goes man to anchor to dog to snake. I wouldn't trust this motherfucker as far as I can throw him because this person has established that they are a betrayer. Their loyalty is not good. They're not. No, sir. No, sir. No, sir. No, sir. Also two-faced. Okay. Letter, house, moon, mountain, and then woman, and then back to man. Male or results that was circulating around the close entourage that we recognize. And then the obstacles and delays that she was going to do. In the context of her husband, he just wants to get away from her. House or man to anchor, dog to snake. He has established that she is not trustworthy. She's a liar and vindictive. Okay. Letter, snake letter house. It could be problems with paperwork around the home. lying about stuff that's going on at home, and then emotionally distant woman. So I read it both ways, in context of her husband and then the context of another man. Yep. But she right now, as of right now, if we box her in, I think we already did this, but if you read it this way, well, you can't see it, but it's moon, woman, and then coffin here, emotionally depressed, seriously depressed, maybe having trouble sleeping. This is the card of nighttime, and then coffin is like the bed. Also, a lot of dirty betrayals and other fucked up shit in her closet, with the ring, the snake, and then coffin down here. Problems in her marriage that she's keeping buried and covered up, that will bring serious harm to her reputation. Coffin to key. And then right here, ending things and news of a man. And then her commitment to this man, because it's ring behind her. Emotional betrayals. A person that has a lot of fame for being a liar. He knows that she's a problem. He's got the mountain over his head. Mountain sits in the house of woman. He knows. He is well aware of this shit right here in regards to her husband. Not saying he's innocent, though. She gives this guy a cold shoulder. And for right now, the writer, when there's an affair in the relationship, the writer is the other man. Younger, hotter, new. Okay? And the writer sits right below her in regards to her relationship. For the man, it would be the snake that shows up as the mistress. And they're both right here. So, and like I said earlier, it's almost like multiple relationships here. There's more than one relationship. So even though she's with that guy, the husband is probably with another girl too. Crossroads in the house of whip. Multiple. Sitting in the house of whip. Sex. With the ring. Partners. Multiple sexual partners. Ring in the house of tower. It could be because she's lonely. Also, climber. This is ambitions. Snake in the house of letter. Okay, how would that be? Besides falsified paperwork, lying about reports, lying about the mail. But it's almost like if this is the other woman and she's sitting on house and she's sitting on house letter, letter is sitting on house is sitting on moon. Moon goes back to I'll tell you what, multiple sexual partners. Okay. Crossroads on whip. Ring on tower for ambitions and loneliness. This is the type of crazy that if it's almost like she was like, It's almost like she finds a way. She knights up here. It's almost like she finds a way to cause a fight so that she can go out and cheat. Because she goes up, she knights up here, options. Options to fight, options for sex. Okay. Below it is the ring. There's your relationship. Breaking the relationship. And then here's the cheating. And then here's the cheating too. Cheating in the relationship, open relationship, agreements to steal stuff. It's like it's all there. Now we have, let me see here. Lily's is knighting down to the clouds. Lots and lots and lots of sorrow. And I hope she swims in it until her fingers get all pruny. Serious issues coming up for her career, her fame, even though that's something that she wants. It's almost like with this right here, she desires elevation and recognition, and almost to be like with the house right here, be known as a household name, celebrity, fame, household name, within a group of have a conservative majority. Her dream, ambitions, good luck. Good luck. You're going to be famous, all right, when you go here. When you go there, my lady friend. When you go there. So she's got all that shit on her mind. She's also got on her mind the potential for her own indictment and when that's going to come. Because we already went over her line. She's awaiting the delivery of what she's been hiding and keeping secret, and trying to anticipate what they know and what was handed over. And we found it in Donald Trump's grand tableau with the chain of the, it was the chain of bouquet, child, cross, bouquet, cross, child, bouquet. Like that was the whole line. That was the whole chain. It kept going around. So that's when I found the pardons. It was on part 2 of that grand tableau. She wouldn't have been asking for pardons if she didn't think she was doing anything wrong. So just her asking for pardons, she knew she was breaking the law. So yeah, any questions? I mean, he doesn't look like, the husband doesn't look like he's doing well. If I look at this as her husband, because there's the ring, it's behind her. This is telling me that this is the husband, even though the ring knight's up here. This is talking about a separation. This is talking about a separation. Separation because of multiple sexual partners, mistresses, and lovers here. But he's not looking like he's doing good either. And he doesn't fucking trust her, and she doesn't trust him, because he establishes, or he arrives, that the trust has been betrayed. So when he filed for divorce, she was already probably involved in a couple of other affairs right here. Because he's the one that filed for divorce, correct? Was it the husband that filed for divorce? Because she was already, he probably caught her in a different, in another affair, probably more than one. And I'm wondering, because man goes to anchor. Okay. Now you guys were telling me, okay, he did. All right. You guys were telling me that her new boyfriend is the anchor for a news station, correct? He probably wasn't the guy that she was cheating on him with when he broke it off with her. It probably wasn't that one. Because man goes to anchor, goes to dog, goes to snake. She's got the writer right below her. It's almost like it was another man. And then she met the anchor guy. Yeah, man of the week. But then you're going to sit there and tell women what's moral? Get the fuck out of here. I know. I couldn't either. I mean, even if you duct taped her mouth and put a paper bag over her head, I mean, dear God. It's like you're going to have to pound like 10 Viagra's just to get the job done. Ugh. Like, no. Mm-mm. Nope. Nope, 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 nope. Oh my God. My mind is disgusting. Yeah, I know. She was screwing the guy at the gym. Then she was screwing another guy that we know of. We know of 3 already. Let me see. Another way to read this, if we're going to get nasty with it, this is something that is widespread. Okay. She's got tree in the house of coffin, a health illness. Okay. This would be illness to the health. Okie dokie. Are you picking up what I'm putting down? Multiple sexual partners in relationships that are problematic and bring illness. This is sitting in the house of key. Key goes to lilies. You ain't as clean as you think, bitch. You got the clap. Right there with the broom and whip. You got the clap. You've gotten the clap a couple times, or you're about to get it again. Because that right there is not clean. This is purity. Okay? Purity, purity, purity. White. I think it's not the French. Somebody else. Look, for me, this is the sex card. Forget if it's the Germans that look at the lilies as the sex card. Where this is like missionary. This is kind of kinky and dirty. If you're picking up what I'm putting down. Well, this is also pure and clean. Not right there. Not right there. Clap, clap, bitch. Let me see here. What else can I find in here? That's why we call her monostat. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Yep. What's her line? I mean, that's a bit of a stretch, but I'll say it anyways just because I don't like her. There. There. Mm-hmm. All I'm saying is whoever hops into bed better wrap that thing like 50 times and get in a biohazardous suit. Because she's just nasty. I mean, and she's just so toxic. Like, why the hell would anybody want to freaking, I mean, whatever. Whatevers. Let me see. What is this? Let me see. Where's the sun? Sun is out of reach. And the stars are out of reach, but they still land above her head. Okay. So it's in a good position, but she can't reach it. And the moon is close to her, but it's in a negative position. Okay, hold on. Hold on, let me see. She's not going to get what she wishes because the cluster is too far. Tree, garden, child, house, and crossroads is too far. It doesn't make the cluster. Okay, so let's see. Let me see. Let me see here. Another way to look at that is there will also be whatever options she thought she had or an exit strategy to finagle and get out of how she's linked. Forget about it. This line here. I'm looking at this outside of the context of her marriage because this is success, multiple areas of success, exit strategies. Okay. There's the link. The link to what? All this stuff. Stealing, the widespread stealing and the false shit. Exit. Look for an exit. Look for an opportunity to get out of this. Follow this line down. There's her link to what was going on officially and in the laws and in the courts. What follows it? The snake and then the coffin. Let me see. Okay. Stealing widespread. And then there's the emails. The team, the team that was working on the vast emails. Vast emails. Text messages. Like all sorts of shit. Let me see here. If I look at this in the context of, oh, hold on. They're in the House of Scythe. Well, there's Russia. Just found it. As a thing. I'm reading it as a thing. So bear would typically be power, finance, food, like your boss and executive. But it sits in the House of Scythe. Isn't the bear and the scythe two symbols of Russia? Can somebody please correct me if I'm wrong? I'm afraid to go on the Google machine. Hold on. Let me go on the Google machine. Un momento, por favor. Hold on. Because they're, hold on, a golden two-headed eagle on a red background. 3 crowns. Okay, the double-headed eagle is the emblem of Russia with 3 crowns. The tiger. That's interesting. Fun fact, the Lennies, the original Lennies, when it was only 32 cards, bear used to be a lion. And it wasn't until like later on, I think it was 1872, 1873, where it was switched over to bear. But it used to be lion. So a tiger, a symbol of strength and monarchy. Okay. The Russian bear. I guess it's pronounced Rusky Medved. I don't know. Is a widespread symbol, generally a Eurasian brown bear for Russia, used in cartoons, articles, and dramatic plays since as early as the 16th century, and relating alike to the Russian Empire, the Russian provisional government, and the Russian whatever the hell. Okay, so we have the Russian bear. Okay, let me see. Hold on. The USSR had the red star. There's a star. There's the bear. Hold on. Is the star a symbol of Russia? By the 1920s, the red star began to be used as an official symbol of the state, and finally in 1924, it became part of the Soviet flag and the official emblem of the Soviet Union. In the succeeding years, the 5-pointed red star came to be considered a symbol of communism as well as broader socialism in general. Okay, does Russia have a national animal? Yes, the brown bear. Okay. Hold on. Hammer and sickle is a symbol meant to represent proletarian solidarity, a union between agriculture and industrial workers. It was first adopted during the Russian Revolution at the end of World War I. The hammer represents worker and the sickle represents the peasants. Hold on. So, oh yeah, there's a little picture of it. Proletarian solidarity. Why did they use a sickle? Used to represent farmers in Russia. Okay. So there is a possibility of the whole Russia stuff. Bear in the House of Scythe. Absolute power here. in the elections, meddling in the elections here, foreign, from abroad, dangerous, but happy to go along with the party and their agenda. That's one way to interpret that. Okay. I think we talked about the other interpretation way earlier, where it was talking about absolute power and stopping the transition of power, making it difficult and causing a burden to grab a win for the party. So because Bear sits in the house of Scythe, cutting off power. Okay. Absolute power, cutting it off, claiming it for yourself here. There's the election transition, getting canceled, burdened, and a win for the party. Straight out of Putin's playbook. But Russia is here too, some way, shape, or form. Above it is the stealing the win. Power is achieved. Power and control. The bear is the card of control. The bear falls under the clubs because it's a very difficult, burdensome card. The entire club suits, with the exception of the coffin. The coffin falls under the spades. With the exception of the coffin, because that's a bad card, but it doesn't fall under the clubs. They're all negative. The ring falls under the club suit. We usually think of the ring as a positive card, but the ring is positive depending on the cards around it, though, because with promises and commitments, those can get very heavy and become a burden in and of themselves, if that makes sense. So we got clubs here, and then 2 spades. Stealing power and control in government. Right there. But that comes up down a few months down the road. It's not right now. Let's see. And then here's the insurrection, overturning the government, and then the loss with the coffin. You can't see it because it's falling in the line of fate. The insurrection of the government failed. Either way, as she moves this way, she does not make progress at all. If anything, the shit's going to hit the fan for her once it gets to here. So she needs to go around this way and come back this way. And then from here, it starts to hit the fan. With that said, I do not see her confined or anything like that. If anything, I see interviews. I see interviews and her trying to figure out how to wiggle out of it and lying and betraying and throwing other people under the bus. The thing is, she doesn't know what they have. She thinks she knows that the government. She thinks she knows what the government has. She has no idea, because the government here is sitting on the house of book, and the book sits in the house of writer, which is under her. And those secrets are in abundance. Writer in the house of fish, in abundance. And they have knowledge on how she was consulting. But she doesn't know. She doesn't know the amount that they have. So, but her line is just fucked. There's the interview with the law. legal problems, legal trouble. Someone spoke and sang like a bird to the law and betrayed her. She is backed up against a wall, nowhere to go. And then there's going to be super huge amounts of, oh, holy fuck. Okay. And then infighting with the entourage in the house because of this line here. And like I said, again, with the corners, secrets and projects. Okay. Growing losses is just starting to grow. The book, what is this? Tree is number 5. So May, but trees are kind of slow though. Trees don't sprout up overnight. And then house and birds. Someone in the house, someone in the entourage is going to sing. But like I said, for the timeline of this tableau, she's still innocent. She's got the child over her head. The child is knighting to the what is this, tower? Okay. Innocent for now. But that pressure, it's coming. Once someone from here talks and interviews, then she's gonna be fucked. The thing is, allies are out of reach. Her to a friend, look at how far that is. And we talked about this earlier. The only way to get her and this person to talk, you need to go to the house, letter, dog, and whip. They're going to be fighting about mail, electronic mail that was fraudulent within a team that was working to steal. This mail came from the entourage. Okay. So all them little people, all 9 of yous up here, 9, sitting next to the dog. 9 friends betray dog in the house of snake, her flip in its own house. Okay. So she's got mountain next month right here. There's something that's coming up around an investigation that's absolutely dangerous to the reputation of a person, and it puts a boulder on this man's head. There's the investigation. There's the danger. Here's indictments of some sort. There's the reputation and the fame, the boulder on this man's head. So I'm wondering if that would be like a Fannie Willis sort of thing, because the mountain sits on housewoman. So I'm wondering if that's like a Fannie Willis sort of situation. But if I follow this up, manipulation, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, about a loss. No, wait, hold on. Manipulating the results, asking for a favor from a friend of 5. And here we go to the swing states. I'm wondering if this is like more like a Georgia Fannie Willis sort of situation, because there's these 3 right here, there's indictments. And it's hitting right down this line, and it's hitting this man at the bottom. And when that happens, she's going to go crazy again. She's not close to the birds, though. I don't think she's one of the morons that made phone calls, unless there's more people that called. If this is the phone calls over here, this is sitting on house ring. Phone calls to the government. Okay. phone calls. What card sits next to it? 19. 19. I'm wondering if there were 19 phone calls made or 19 people that called. Because remember how we found it up here for the swing state? There were 5 that were happy to do a favor over a loss. Happy to do a favor. The allies card behind it is 5. If I apply that same technique here, if this is the phone call, the card that sits next to it is Tower. That's number 19. So I'm wondering if there were 19 people that made phone calls or 19 different phone calls. Do you see what I'm saying? But there's a 19 in here somewhere. Oh, exactly, Nancy. You want to go out there and make a name for yourself? And you broke some laws to do it? Have fun. And I hope they do take a mugshot of her if they have enough evidence of what crimes she committed. Oh, yeah. If there's evidence that she committed crimes and she goes before a jury and they find her guilty and then they indict her and then convict her and then sentence her, put that bitch's face on a mugshot so I can make a, dartboard out of it and practice. Has nothing to do with eclipses. I'm talking about people calling. This has nothing to do with astrology. Get that out of your head. I don't know. Maybe Fanny has some evidence. I don't know if this is the phone call. There's 19 behind it. Either 19 people in government were called or 19 officials in government were making the phone calls. Okay, so, and there was agreements here to make phone calls. Or phone calls to get people to agree to overturn here. But like I said, people sing to the law and betray her. And her only recourse is to deny and fight the people that whistled on her. Oh, yeah. You would think so, Cece. You would think. Because that's her home state. And if you look at the corners, house and birds, that's her home. Her home. And then there's the phone calls. So I'm wondering, because if I look to the right, again, that's 19. Either 19 people made phone calls or there were 19 phone calls made. Does that make sense? So and then here, there are multiple records that have been established and are secure in regards to communications, meetings, phone calls, negotiations looking for agreements or agreements that were made after it was negotiated. I don't know where Fannie Willis would be. Because there's a woman here. This could be read as a woman, the queen of clubs comes after the law. Okay. There's a woman here with the queen of diamonds. There's a woman here with the queen of hearts and a woman here with the queen of spades. So the ones around the elections, if this is the election, those are the phone calls. It's this woman and this woman. This one's a little bit further away. You have to night it. So it could be one of these. Now, I would lean more towards this one. Why do I say that? The storks is associated to a person that is tall, graceful, long legs, a dancer, beautiful, but she's got the bear over her head. This person is a little bit heavy set with a round bottom with the anchor. I would lean more towards this one, being Fannie Willis. This person here, traditionally, brown hair, brown eyes, may wear glasses or contacts, slender, can kind of, like this, limber. Could, but not always, have a name that starts with an S, first name or last name, or anything that winds and coils like an S. So I would lean more towards this one being Fannie Willis. Successful, ambitious in the law, heavy set, round bottom. Do you see what I'm saying? So I would think this would be more like a Fannie Willis. If this indictment here connects to the phone calls that were made, there's her residency here from the corners, knowledge or secrets, growing losses, okay? Something that has been established and is solid, that is a loss. There's your residence that you represent, house, in the house of moon, your career and reputation. There's the phone calls. So I would think more this way. And so did she make phone calls? So did she make phone calls? So we go from here to here. So from here to here. And here to here. I would say yes. I would say yes that she did. But what's funny though is if she did, she would have been subpoenaed because here's an invitation. But she didn't get one. This other bootlicker here did, because there was an invitation here that this person was trying to weasel out of here. Talk to here. Okay, so hold on, because Lindsey Graham got subpoenaed to go before a grand jury. She didn't get any subpoenas at all that I'm aware of to go talk to the grand jury. She didn't get subpoenaed to talk to the grand jury that Lindsey Graham did, that Lindsey Graham was trying to weasel out of. Because she's here, the phone calls are here, calling government, lying. This is not Stacey Abrams. Get that out of your heads. That's not Stacey Abrams at all. And for this bitch to be talking shit about Stormy Daniels, listen, Stormy Daniels is a sex worker. Okay? I don't see anything wrong with that. But I think it's pretty rich when a fucking adulteress can sit there and point the finger at a sex worker when you're doing way worse. You are cheating on your husband. So shut it. Shut it. Okay? Oh, I'm sorry. I missed it, lucky girl. Thank you. Thank you, Nina. So unless this is in regards to Stormy, because it knights down here to this man. The man has the clouds next to it with the whip. And then if you follow these two lines up, the trouble, the what do you call this? The indictments for the gifts of money for sex this way. So unless there's legal troubles with Stormy, but I don't see why there would be legal troubles with Stormy. It's unless she starts talking shit and then Stormy sues the shit out of her for defamation. But I think it's rich when you have a, you know, clutch my pearls. I'm such a Christian, but I cheat on my husband every chance I get. Calling a sex worker a whore. Pot, meat, kettle. Irony is dead. At least Stormy doesn't have to go hiding behind people's backs, you know? Yes, Darren, absolutely true. We say that in Cuba too. That when you point your finger at somebody, you got three pointing right back at you. So let me see here. See, because the way that this line comes down, there's that indictment for this person here. But that scythe also touches her. That scythe also touches her. Hold on. What does this say? What does this say? Yep, this is Stormy. Clouds or bouquet in the house of clouds. And also there's another one here. We found, remember in Donald Trump's grand tableau, part 1 and part 2, there was where the courts were. The court was here. And it was man, bouquet. And then what was it? Bear. It was man, bouquet, snake, bear, and dog. And then it was man, bouquet, snake. Down this line, was where the law was, his line for April. And I said, I saw him in court, but I was having a hard time because Bouquet was here and Snake was here. I said, there's two women. Well, it turns out they're also investigating McDougal. So it wasn't just Stormy. They were looking at the payments that he made to McDougal. This looks more like a McDougal here. This would be more like a Stormy. Because the Snake is a name, brown-haired, brown-eyed, can wear contacts or glasses, slithery, seductive. This one's more like a model. Beautiful. There's a sense of pageantry with Bouquet. Okay. So, and they were both right next to each other. It was Bouquet and Snake. Well, here, if this is the other woman, there's the guilty payments here. So, but that's 2 columns ahead. And then in Trump's GT, oh God, I'm trying to remember. I said for the time being, for the next year, he's still innocent. But the indictments keep coming because they were falling down this line right here. So this is the Karen McDougal and Stormy Daniels stuff. And then she's trying to raise money off of it. Like I said, there's difficulty raising money. The gifts and then the punishment here, the money that comes in, not so good. Not so good. Y'all been milking that well for so long. People are going to start sending you food stamps and there's not going to be much you're going to be able to do with it. So she's going to have problems raising money. It's not going to be as easy. Raising money for the party or whatever other stunt she's going to try to do. Why they asked for pardons? Well, here's the pardons here. Why did they ask for the part? Wait, no, this one, and this one. Why? Because if I go child, there's your innocence. Here's your gift. Here's your guilt. Well, in order to get these to talk, I need to bring it down here. So I would need to go to child, 2 letter, Bouquet to what you call this, fish, and then read all that. Why did they ask for pardons? Because of this. They were suspicious of their own indictments. Why? Manipulating the results. If this is the results in the mail, anything that is official, it was being manipulated. Am I making sense? Also, because they played a part in canceling the transition, and there's guilt in that. This is transition. This is canceling it. There's your guilt. Okay. Here's your innocence, your career, and your freedom. From here to here to here to here, they were also offering to pay, make donations, because here's the innocence. There's the paperwork, request, offer for money, payment. From here to get these to talk. A difficult trip, a difficult journey. Transition is difficult. An abundance of innocence. Not very prosperous. But it was mostly why they asked for it, because of the danger of indictments themselves for what's above it, manipulation and fraud, their own participation in the fraud. What were they defrauding? Look at the card before it, the results. the results that are official and making alternative results. This is mail that gets forwarded, but because Crossroads comes after it, there's more than one. It's almost like two. There's 2 copies of this stuff that they were going to send out to get it certified. And they participated in that. So they were worried about their own indictments for fraud and manipulating the paperwork, changing it, modifying it, having 2 copies. This is doubles and multiples. So if you have letter and then you got 2 copies of it, there's 2. And then here's the false elector scheme again. Here's the election. Here's the results. Knight this over. There's the false electors here. What's down this column? Here's the election. There's the agreement. There's how it's falsified here. Falsified the loss. Lied about it. Snake sits in the house of letter. This result here, the mail, she lied about it. That's why she asked for a pardon. It had nothing to do with her vote and denying the votes of the swing states. She was actively participating in the entire scheme with the false electors. And she had knowledge of it. And when this person sings, the person that had the mail, whatever was in all those emails here, electronic mail, vast. And then down here in abundance of it, she's going to argue that this person is lying because the dog sits in the house of snake and the snake goes back to the letter. She's going to argue that this person is lying about her participation. So her and Mark Meadows about to get into a WWE fight. See? Oh, why the January 6th hearing never elaborated? There was a lot of shit that happened during that the January 6th committee had that we don't know about. They didn't even put half the shit, make it public. Like all those little videos that Kevin McCarthy gave to Tucker Carlson, a lot of that stuff wasn't made public. That's why everybody was losing their goddamn minds. Okay? But that paperwork, to my knowledge, was already given over to the DOJ before, out of the reach of Kevin McCarthy and the Republicans, to especially the Republicans that participated and were implicated because they were active participants in a coup d'etat. So it is out of their hands. Another good way to tell, here's her. Here's the letter. It is out of her reach. She can't get to it. She doesn't have access. Her access, here, the woman, there's the letter, there's a subpoena. Her access, not good. She doesn't have access to it. She's blocked from the access. She can't access what they have. She won't find out till they come knocking. Hey, till she gets this, there will be a subpoena that she's going to have to answer to. But that comes down the road when it's time to interview, if that makes sense. If that makes any sense. Give me a second, you guys. I got to get up and stretch for a minute because my butt's falling asleep. Let me see here. This goes, okay. Looking at her little box again, recognition and fame. The more recognition and fame she gets, the more problematic and dangerous she becomes to this man here. That established speakership in the house. Let me see. Man to anchor. Another way to read this. Man achieves a false friendship, a false alliance. Because there's no way, if this is McCarthy, there is no fucking way he's going to get in legal trouble for her. He's not sticking his neck out. He may do so in public. He ain't going down for her. Because here's the fame. Remember what I said earlier. Big, huge problems. Huge problems. Powerful enemy. Sits in the house of woman under a lot of pressure. This woman is putting a lot of pressure on him, and she becomes a huge problem. Follow it up again. The investigations that are dangerous for her, they're going to be a bigger headache for him. He achieves a friendship that is false, betrays. It's not real. He's speaking out of both sides of his mouth. Backstabber. Because the paperwork, the results are false. They're not real. And then the house gets, her fame in the house becomes a bigger problem. That's the chain. She's going to become, the more you put the spotlight on her, the bigger problem she becomes for him. So on top of everything that's going on right now, with the Republicans going absolutely insane, with the extremism on abortion, what they just did in Tennessee, just the crazy on steroids. Midterms are right around the corner. Y'all thinking you're going to get 30, 40 seats? No, sir. Because she's going to become a problem. And the more stuff opens up about Trump, and the more that the public sees people in the House defending the indefensible. They defended him in impeachment 1 against a mountain of evidence. They defended him in impeachment 2 after an insurrection. He's been indicted. They're still defending him. When the country has rejected him and the entire MAGA cult, okay? And you think making her the face of the GOP is a good idea? I mean, have at it, Haas. Have at it. Have at it. But this right here, she's about to be in some deep doo-doo. Deep doo-doo. Let me see. Oh, no, that's totally cool, lucky girl. So any questions on this GT before I put it away? Because I've been on for 3 hours. Any questions I can answer quickly? I have it in my notes. April 7th, 2023. So if anything pops up, we can bring it back up again. But there's indictments looming. There are indictments looming. Not just for him. She's in danger too. But it's going to be a while before she gets called in. It's going to be a few months before she gets called in to interview. You all are good? Or you have any questions? I'm not gifted, Julie. I just practice a lot. I just practice, and I don't always get these right, you know? So, well, yeah, they will throw her under the bus because she sits all the way at the bottom of the tableau. And like I said earlier, for those of you guys that are just tuning in, her position here is not good because she's got this entire weight of everything on top of her. So I don't give a shit how much she goes on TV and runs her mouth and this, that, and the other thing. She is completely overwhelmed. This is not a good position to land in a grand tableau because you have all this weighing on you. All this shit right up here is what's on her mind and it's weighing on her. So she may huff and puff and get on the bullhorn. No, sir. You see. All right, I guess I don't have any questions. I already did that, Chris. Way early. Her chain was woman to man to anchor to dog to snake to letter to house to moon to mountain and then back around to her. Okay. And I interpreted that several ways. Her and her husband, the established trust has been betrayed. And it is a pattern of betrayal that is well established within the family. And she is emotionally distant, and her career and her wanting to seek fame has become a huge problem. Okay. Another way to interpret that is her and a man have established a friendship that is bad juju. And there's false records in the house, and her career and her fame becomes a huge problem. Okay. So there's, there's that. The big problem comes with the law because she doesn't know what they have and what was turned over. What was turned over in the mail. There was someone that she thought she was friends with that has mail or paperwork with her that gets her in trouble. Big trouble. And then the tower goes tower, book, writer, fish, letter, whip, sun, bouquet, clouds, cross, fox, tree, coffin, key, lilies, mice, clover, bear, scythe, child, garden, sun, stars, ship, what do you call this? Birds, ring, and then it goes back to the tower. So the government knows. The government knows, and it has secrets, and she's anticipating the delivery of that and the abundance of stuff that they have that's going to be released, that is going to bring a lot of heat and a lot of trouble and a lot of an abundance of discord, disruption, fighting, that she's not going to be happy with at all. It's going to create a significant amount of chaos and suffering because of an investigation into a loss and how people were getting guidance to steal something for power. And then the minority party trying to be successful and all that stuff, but it just all the little huyas that were in on it. She's just waiting to see what they have and they don't have. Okay. So, but I have the notes. We can always bring it back up as stuff comes up. But like I said, she's here. She needs to go around this way. Once she gets to here, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4. I said about 5, the next 5 to 7 months. That's when these 3 columns come up. And that's when this line gets activated. Because right now she's got problems that she thinks she can answer by arguing in the house. But then it comes this way. And then that's when you get the legal problems, because someone ratted her out and she's going to say that they lied, but they have receipts. The receipts that she's the one that's lying. So, and then here is speaking. There's the law and there's the lie. And like I said, the only argument that she's going to have is she's going to go to battle with this person and argue that this person was lying. But that person has receipts. And those receipts point to her, or she's on there somewhere. Oh, McCarthy did open a can of worms with her. I hope it was worth it. I hope it was damn worth it. Because she's about to sink a whole bunch of people. And she's about to you gave her the fame is right here. It's over her head. There's your fame that she wanted. And then there's the huge problem. And this mountain is sitting on the House of Woman. She's going to become a huge problem when it comes out on her exact involvement and how widespread the criminality was. Here's the secret. Here's the stealing and the criminality. Widespread. Widespread. Vast. Okay? So, and from the looks of it, like I said earlier, because she lands at the bottom, she ain't doing good right now. Wait till the shit hits the fan. She knights down here to this. You don't want this anywhere close to you. You don't want this anywhere close to you. And what's even worse, the dark side of the clouds faces her. So it's like this. If it had been like this, way better. That means you're coming out of a bad situation. This, you're about to fucking step in it. And this sits on the House of Cross. Pain, punishment, grief, sorrow, burdens, regrets, getting nailed to the fucking cross, nailed to the cross. Okay, so I'm just waiting. I'm just waiting. I'm just waiting. Wouldn't that be a lovely Christmas present? Wouldn't that be the best Christmas present in the world? So there's that, y'all. All right. We will be live on my channel on Sunday, Easter Sunday, for the Sunday night reads. Hope to see you all there. I invited our dear friend Lori to join us. So Lori will be there with us on Sunday night with Johnny and Jenny. Hope everybody has a good evening or good morning. It's 12:06. Peace out, y'all. Have a good one. Bye-bye.